Om Sehana Vavatu Sehano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May God protect both teacher and student. May He nourish us together. May we work together with great energy. May our studies be enlightening. May there be no hate among us. Om, peace, peace, peace. Very well. What are we talking about today? Was there anything incomplete last time? Not that I remember. Is there any question about any asanas or pranayama or anything? Anything that's still not clear or anything that you like to speak about? You take the time to have open session.
Hari Om Acharya ji, Kapil here.
Yes.
Last time you spoke about the energy of religious places and the advantage of visiting them and all that.
Yes.
Slight confusion. If it's all karma and it's all destiny, or it's all destiny, why pray?
Yes.
Why do we need to these places?
Look.
Why do we need to pray?
Yes.
And to whom are we praying?
Okay. Now, realize this is also related to a point when we speak about clarity and purification, etc. Do we really need to purify ourselves? If according to Advaita Vedanta, if we are the Atma, we are the consciousness, does the Atma or consciousness need purification? No, it does not. Because the Atma or consciousness is ever pure and ever, let's say, untainted. It does not need any change. It does not need any modification or purification. So then for who is this clarity or purification required? And for what and for whom do we need to pray? The prayer is not required for self or consciousness or Atma, because Atma is always pure and it is actually beyond pure. You cannot even define it as a pure, because when you say pure, there must be an element of what is not pure. So actually you cannot even define Atma or consciousness as a pure. So then whom do we praying for? Remember, we are praying because we are Jivatma, which means we are the combination of body, mind, intellect, and energy, the supreme energy, the consciousness or Atma. When we attach ourselves as a body, mind, intellect, this body, mind, and intellect is under conditioning. It is under the power of Prakriti or Maya or illusion or delusion. And because of we are under the power of that delusion, we need to clarify or purify our body, our mind, our pranas, and finally our buddhi, intellect, which does the job of discrimination. So remember, going to any place of worship or not, when you are undergoing the process of clarity, gaining knowledge, clarity, wisdom, purification, it is only for Jivatma, which basically means for your conditioned mind, for your body and conditioned mind and buddhi. For that. And what is the prayer? Prayer is lead us from darkness to light, lead us from mortality to immortality, lead us from unreal to real. All this is for that BMI, body, mind, intellect, not for the self. Self does not need any of these prayers. Self does not need any of this purification. So at this level, when we are operating here in this material world, we are attached to our body, mind, intellect, and therefore we need to do prayers to evolve to the point to realize that we are not body, mind, intellect. That is simply something that we have acquired. It is momentary. It is not permanent. It is not changeless. You attribute yourself to be as a changeless, eternal, ever pure, omnipresent, and that's self. Self, capital self, the higher self, not the lower self. So higher self is a pure energy. Lower self is the self plus body, mind, intellect. So the prayer is for Jivatma.
Thank you, Acharya.
And at this point of time, we do need prayers, we do need meditation, we do need the yogic lifestyle, because like it or not, we are body conscious. We are conscious of our mind, our intellect. We have not come to a point where we are sure that we are not just the body, mind, intellect. We are that self. We are that energy. When you are in that understanding with that wisdom, you don't need prayers. You don't need meditation. You don't need nothing. You just be. You remain the being. Of course, because you have acquired body, you do perform your, let's say, mundane activity that you need to sustain yourself. All the great masters, whether it's Ramana Maharshi or Ramakrishna or Buddha or all, they all had done the self-realization. They were awakened souls. However, during their lifestyle, they did all their activity which everybody does, which means they go to bed to sleep, they walk, they eat. They have all of those basic activities, but without any attachment, because they had a very clear vision, revelation, that this body is not what they are. And most of them had suffered physical pain. They suffered many diseases. And for them, they accepted, because that disease, that pain is to the body, not to the self. And they knew that they are self, they are energy, they are consciousness. So whatever has to happen to body, it will happen. It's like your car or your any other machine. Over a period of time, it needs maintenance. It has the wear and tear. Because it is a machine, so is the body. Body is also a machine. Most powerful machine that ever have been created. So it undergoes all kind of changes, but self does not change. So the prayer is also a part of the process for the clarity and purification of body and mind, and of course intellect.
Acharya ji, there is one theory in positive psychology. In this, it states that we should have 5 components for the well-being. One is the positive emotion, then second one is the engagement, then relationship, and then meaning in the life, and then accomplishment. So my question is that when we just meditate and means we do nothing, meditate or asanas, or we are in spirituality, what is our accomplishment and meaning in the life?
Any form of the sadhana, any form of sadhana, whether it's the bhakti or karma yoga or raja yoga, which is based on the jnana yoga. All three activity of jnana yoga, bhakti yoga and karma yoga bring us only to one point, and that is the clarity, wisdom and purification. What clarity do we get by doing seva or karma yoga? What clarity do we get by doing bhakti or devotion? What clarity do we get by going for a meditation, jnana yoga? It is only one, that we are not this body. We are neither the body that looks like, we are not the pranic body, we are not the mansik manobuddhi. You remember we have 5 bodies. Yeah, the 5 bodies are, first is our gross body, that is what we look like. Then the pranic body, yeah, the prana that we take. We have aura around us. That's our subtle body. Third is our mind, the intellect. That's our bodhi, the etheric body. Then we have our causal body. Causal body is the finest body. So we are none of these bodies, none of them. And all these different sadhanas, different purification process, whatever it is only for one purpose. And it is, remember, only for us when we know that we are body, mind, intellect. But the day you are awakened, the day you have realization that I am not just the body, then you need nothing. You need nothing, absolutely nothing to do. There is nothing to do. Self does not need any abhyasa, any sadhana, any practices, any meditation, nothing. You remain absolutely as you are, just the being. Once again, do not misunderstand. It does not mean that you stop activity. It does not mean you become like a dead body. No, you do have to do your job. You do have to perform your roles with the clear understanding, with the clear understanding that you are only performing your role as a body, mind, intellect. As a self, you are pure. You are ever pure. You are ever eternal and omnipresent. So, what are the indicators connected to this subject? I thought of it's so easy. for us to make a judgment. Where are we? What level are we? What are the indicators of our spiritual evolution? Yeah. So as you evolve spiritually by gaining higher knowledge, by receiving clarity, by having wisdom, and after purification, first thing is increased tendency to let things happen as it happens. No interference. And no claiming that you are the doers. That's the first indicator. When you are in a position to let things happen as it is happening, do not interfere. Do not claim that you are the doers, because everything is happening around us and within us according to the divine plan and our destiny. So that's the first indicator. Second indicator, your aura, your personality, your individuality changes to be a very pleasant, that you realize yourself and all that interact with you would realize about your pleasant personality or individuality. And it reflects in the form of a gentle smile on your face, a brilliance on your face. There is some amount of light or brilliance on your forehead, on your eyes. When you see someone whose eyes are full of love and the eyes that can penetrate you, the shine on the face, smile on the face, these are the indicators of persons having a higher knowledge. They would never have a frown on the face. They would not have anger. They would not come to a judgment of right or wrong. They will remain neutral. And we call it equipoise. So this is the second indicator. And third indicator is when you treat everyone at par, same as you are, the oneness. When you realize the oneness of yourself and everyone else, that's the third indicator. And that will reflect in your relationship, that will reflect in your transactions in the world. Yeah. The fourth indicator is you are always rely upon your gut feelings. You rely upon your, let's say, intuitions. You do not use your buddhi. You do not use your intellect. Because when you allow your buddhi or intellect to operate, you are manipulating. The mind is an instrument which is so tricky. It plays the game without your knowing it. And that traps you as a Jivatma into the cycle of birth and death. So the fourth indicator of spiritual awakening is that you do not make judgment. You do not make any judgment of what is right or what is not right, what is good or not good. And based on your past experiences or mind conditioning or memory, you do not perform. You perform instantly. And that is why if you ever study the lifestyle of the masters, great masters, they were contradictory, because when they make a statement, one statement now, on the next time, that second statement would be contradictory. Why? Because they operate on instant. They operate based on the intuition. At that moment, whatever the intuition, whatever is the gut feeling, they will talk about it. So to us, it looks contradictory. They do not mean any contradiction. It's just that at that point of time, whatever is the prevailing condition, the intuitions will let them speak. So try when you speak after a lot of preparation and thinking and planning, you are operating based on your intellect and your mind conditioning, which is okay for your material world, material lifestyle. But when you speak of spirituality, the lifestyle would automatically change as you evolve. You will start behaving instantly based on your intuitions, based on your gut feelings. Next indicator for person who is evolving spiritually is that you will enjoy every circumstances. You see, we don't enjoy every circumstance. We look for a holiday. We look for a time to, bring us the pleasure, happiness. We go out for holidays. We do certain things that makes us happy. And that is, you are searching for happiness. You are looking for pleasure. But when you are in spiritual path and when you are evolving, you accept everything, whatever that is happening, as it is, and with the joy, without any grumbling, without any complaint. And therefore, the happiness and the joy is always present with you because you are accepting. You are accepting all conditions, all situations, all relationships, all encounters, everything as it is. When you are accepting everything, there is the question of anything for getting angry or for feeling anger. There is no anger, there is no regret, because you are accepting it. It does not mean that you become a doormat. It does not mean that somebody will do what they like with you or in your life. It is their karma, what they do to you. As an individual, it is your karma to be awake, to be aware that moment you respond, moment you react, positively or negatively, you are creating your own karma. It's rather be a receiver, take whatever comes to you, accept what you have, whatever comes to you. Because when you know that you are a self, nothing will disturb it. Nothing can harm it. Nothing. You may get harmed physically or mentally, emotionally, but that is not you are. You are not that. So when you evolve spiritually with the wisdom, your personality and your individuality will change. And it comes to a point where you are accepting things with smile, without any complaints. Therefore, you have no hatred or any grudges to anyone. Everything is okay. That's the indicator, another indicator of spiritual evolution. Yet another indicator is that when you are spiritually evolving, your character will change. What does it mean? You will realize that when you are accepting conditions, situations, and surroundings as it is, you are not interpreting it. No interpretation. What is it? Interpretation is, in circumstances, for me, it could reflect as a good circumstances. To somebody, it may reflect as uncomfortable. But after all, to the self, nothing is good, nothing is uncomfortable. Therefore, there is no interpretation. What is good or not good? No interpretation. No interactions. No interactions. Interaction means that you put forward your thoughts, you put forward your wisdom, you put forward your experiences, your memories, which is not in line with the other person. Then becomes interaction. Yeah? You have your point of view, I have my point of view, and that becomes interaction. But when you come to a point where you are accepting, there is no interaction because you are in the mode of acceptance. You are in mode of taking everything as it is. And remember, it's not easy because not everything and every time it turns out to be pleasant. It may not be pleasant, yet you accept it without any interpretation, without any interaction. And similarly, whatever is happening, do not involve, no involvement, remain, which means no claiming of doership, just being. So 3, interaction, involvement, and interpretation. 3I. These are the 3I, which are the next indicator of spiritual evolution. No interacting, no interpreting, no involvement. And the top of all this indicator, most important indicator of a person who is spiritually evolving is the love. Love and smile. The person who is in a spiritual journey and awakening as a process, they realize the self, the consciousness operates only on 3. The only indicator is love. When you are in a position to love everything as it is, love your conditioning, love your relationship, love your circumstances, love your surroundings, love the manifestation. People have complained about summer or winter or a rain or an earthquake or disasters. All that is part of divine design. When you start accepting everything that happens has purpose and it is happening for a certain cause, and you love that divine design, you love that manifestation and its activities, that's the indicator of you in a right path. You are evolving. All these indicators sounds easy and simple, but when you look into your own lifestyle, you realize we have a long, long, long way to go. And yet it can happen right now. It can happen right at this moment. It's just a matter of awakening, matter of realizing. And that can happen anytime to anybody or everybody.
Acharya ji, that means it's some sort of detachment itself is one of the achievement. Detachment, or you can say equanimity, is one of the source of achievement, or that is the end itself.
Yes, but you realize that attachment, of course, this is the part of the progress, part of the process of unity appears, that as you are giving, let's say, more time to your inner self, yourself, which is your part of your meditation. When you are looking within yourself, you realize there's nothing else to be attached to. What? There is nothing to, you think of attachment for your work, or maybe your family, or your relationship. That's okay. I mean, you do not ignore, because you have to perform your role to the best of your ability. To that extent, you do have to have the concern and the kind of affection. But that should only be for the purpose of performing your role. After that, it does not stay. It does not. Moment there's the difference between the love and the attachment. Love will accept detachment, but attachment will not be result of love. Attachment does not come as a result of love. Love is to accept everything and everybody, every circumstances. In that case, there is no attachment. Whatever is okay is love. But attachment would mean that if that situation, that person is not anymore available, you will have pain or suffering. Then it is not a spiritual progress. Any attachment that brings you pain or suffering holds you back, ties you down to this material world and birth and death. Whoever it is, whatever it is, when you come to a mode of accepting whatever happens, you may be very close to circumstances or relations or surrounding. But when it is not available anymore, there can be two things. The result will be two. Either you will have pain and suffering. Second, you will come to a situation where you accept it as the part of destiny and let happen whatever is to happen.
Thank you.
When those who are able to visit the retreat, all this and much more is what I intend to spread. I like to share. It's, because there's a limitation in 30-40 minutes to express everything in detail. So I'm hope that more and more people are able to get together. I know it may be difficult for some, but think of priorities in life. So if you have any more question or doubt, let's talk about it. I realize that some of you are doing other days some practices of yoga, asanas and pranayama and all, but not all of you. I'm sure you have reason for not doing it. But my request is that do not spare any day without doing your sadhana. Do whatever, maybe 30 minutes, just half an hour. Just be yourself and do whatever stretches, whatever asana that you can do, whatever pranayama that you can do. Then spare about 10 minutes. Sit in silence and stillness. Altogether, I only urge you to spend 30 minutes for yourself. That's important. You You attend the class, you don't attend class, you come to retreat, don't come to retreat, it's not important. But for your own, you must do it by yourself. And that's very important. Because all this, what we are doing is only an indicator. It's only, let's say, demonstrations of, that's not enough. You have to practice every day. Whether you do it or not, you will know yourself. You don't have to prove it. You don't need any certification. Your personality will change. All your physical health is a side bonus. Your health will improve for sure. Physical health, mental health, emotional health, all that will change. But you have to give yourself every day minimum 30 minutes in doing these practices. I just was reading just couple of days. I found my old literature, which I was studying in 1998 until 2002, all about my yoga literatures. And it's so good to see what we studied in and how we're supposed to be doing by my teacher. And my current teacher is a German woman, and she is the personification of a love. And we have satsang next week together for 3 hours. She is my guru. She is a German, but she has adopted India as her home. And she is about 74. But she is much more energetic than me. She does much more yoga than me. She can sing, she can do kirtan, bhajans, she can play. She is superwoman because she operates on love. And that's from where I learned from her. So like everybody needs a role model, and you look up to that role model and you try to follow it. You try to follow it, and then you, out of respect, you follow it as being as humble as possible. So if there are no questions, I suggest let us close our eyes and sit in dharana and dhyana. And just be, don't do anything, nothing to be done, just sit. Do your normal breathing, sit comfortable. Yes, please.
That's one confusion. Because you are talking about interaction. Huh? So in interaction, what is the right way to do interact? It is reaction-wise or it is respond-wise?
You should always respond, do not react. In this, our day-to-day life, we do have interactions. There is no question that you cannot have interaction. But whatever responding you are giving, whatever response that you give, be aware that you are not attaching any personal. You are responding on the spot, whatever that intuition that comes up, whatever gut feeling that you get, and that's what you respond to the subject, whatever it is. So you are allowing your higher self to guide you, your angels to guide you. So when you are responding, You are becoming a media. You are transmitting the response, what is conveyed by your angel or your higher self. So and that's why your intention, your intuitions and your gut feeling is the voice of your angel. When you react, you are operating based on your mind conditioning, your samskaras, your vasanas, because mind is fully conditioned, and it has got all the impressions of your, as I said, fear, anger, greed, vasanas. So reacting is not the right thing to do. Respond it. And respond is based on your intuitions, which is a voice of your angel, your higher self.
One example will be helpful. Just a daily life example. Anything.
The example is that you asked me a question and my answer was instant. I did not allow my mind to think, what should I reply? Whatever intuition that I get, whatever gut feelings I get, I answer it, I reply to you. That's a response.
How to avoid it? What is the practice? Like most of the time we react. Most of the time in our daily life or in our present situation, whatever we are. So most of the time we will have reactions. So
Yep.
how to convert the reactions into response?
You see, this requires to be in a meditative state. We do the meditation, which is you spare 10 minutes separately and you sit, and that's okay. That's a meditation. But when you live your life in a meditative state, which means you are always in that mode of awareness that you are consciousness. Yeah? When you are all the time in that meditative state, your natural tendency is to respond, not to react.
So that means the practice of meditation should be there in every day-to-day life.
Yes, it does help. You do have to have long time of meditation, but time comes when you are all the time in that mode of your thoughts, your awareness that I'm accepting everything, I'm operating based on love, and I'm responding, allowing the higher self to guide me. So then slowly it will start, that instead of reacting, you will start responding. But for that, you have to be aware. You have to be in that state of meditation.
Thank you, Acharya.
Acharya ji, just you have explained that there are three eyes of involvement, intention, and interpretation. Can you explain again for this spirituality? How they are eyes of spirituality?
It's very easy and simple. When you are in position to accept everything that happens to you, everything, in that condition, you are neither involving yourself, you are not interpreting, and you are not interacting, because you are accepting as it is. Now, remember, we are talking about indication of spiritual evolution. But until you are evolving, it is hard not to interact, not to involve, and not to interpret. You will interpret, your mind will interpret immediately without your knowing. Because you are still in a progress. You have not come to a spiritual evolution. You are still operating based on this body, mind, intellect in this world. So let that continue. You do not have to do anything. Only abhyas that you need to do is one. All that is happening, let it happen. Whatever is happening. Somebody is not talking to you very well, let it be. Somebody is ignoring you, let it be. Or you are not recognized in your society or in your workplace, let it be. It's okay. When you are in position to accept that, or even the relationship, when you're in position, then there is no interaction, there is no interpretation, there is no involvement. You remain as you are. Yeah? Because you are the self. You are that energy. You don't need the interpretation. You don't need any involvement. You do not have to interact. Just remain as a being. Remember, once again, do not misunderstand. It's not that you stop talking to people or interacting. You do have to perform your role. Remember, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, all spirituality is one. The reality right now is only one. Do your job as best as you can, to the best of your ability. Second, do not expect result. Third, whatever is your outcome, accept it as a prasad. No grudges. That's spirituality. And then it grows. Then you evolve. Then you evolve. Slowly but surely it will happen. You like it or not, you will evolve. We take birth only for spiritual evolution. But because of our previous karmas and destiny and mind conditioning, we are trapped. We forget. We forget to evolve. We forget to remain in the present moment and be aware of being consciousness. That's why I call that as a meditative state. When you are in the all the time in the awareness that you are the consciousness. That's a meditative state. So with that, let's do contemplation. All of you can do the same contemplation with your eyes closed. Just raise this subject in your mind. Think about it. Let whatever thought comes to you, whatever response comes to you, just be aware. Do not seek any answer. Do not seek any clarification. Just watch your thought, your emotion that comes up. Close your eyes. As you sit quiet, as you sit in stillness, bring your awareness, your focus to your breathing. As you are watching your breath, be aware of different thoughts and emotions. Shift your attention from your breathing to your thoughts. As you shift your attention to observe your thoughts, you are in the state of mindfulness. As long as you are able to observe and notice your thoughts, you are being mindful. after staying in the state of mindfulness as long as it takes, realize the time of mindlessness, a short gap, a tiny gap between two thoughts. Search for that tiny, tiny gap between two thoughts. And if you can spot that tiny spot, that is mindlessness. Oh. 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 Om. Asato ma Satgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, God, for giving us air to breathe. Thank you, God, for giving us water to drink. Thank you, God, for giving us sun for energy. Thank you, God, for giving us food to eat. Thank you, God, for giving us good health and happiness. Thank you, God, for giving us positivity. Thank you, God, for giving us all that we need. Thank you, God, for your love, your protection, your guidance, your blessings. Thank you, God, for the existence. Thank you for giving me a chance to serve you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Acharya ji.
Thank you, Acharya ji.